The Lincoln's Legends podcast is proudly brought to you by two amazing sponsors that are local businesses from right here in Springfield. MilesT-shirts.com, top-notch printing at a great price, and Laces Footwear. Why buy kicks and threads at separate places when the freshest gear is all at Laces? LacesFootwear.com. No, I don't do it 25 times. We're not cutting and we're not editing. She just busts my balls, and that's fine. Welcome to the Christmas edition of the Lincoln's, excuse me, I can't say Christmas because it's not politically correct. The holiday edition, Kwanzaa, was it Ramadan or is that Hanukkah? Hanukkah. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so everybody that celebrates a holiday between December and January, we're happy to have you listening to the show. That's how we're gonna go. We are supported today by the cast of the Bloody Mary Mafia. We're at JP Kelly's. They have delicious Bloody Marys, and they let me put my banner up, and they're supporting the show. This show will air on Christmas. I'm not gonna be talking to you on Christmas because I got a family and I like them. I'm sure that you do too. But we're going to get the show started. There's awesome news going around that I'd love for Deshanee Minor. I've name dropped her a few times, and now it's your turn to tell your story.
Which story am I telling? I have a lot of stories.
Your Christmas Kwanzaa story.
Which Christmas Kwanzaa story?
I'm just kidding.
The story I wouldn't let you tell. How about that?
When Kelly and I went to Ferguson to support the Ferguson Municipal Library, we delivered some books from Little Pickle Publishing that Kelly works with, and we also volunteered while we were there. The big thing was organizing their donations that they had gotten a flood of. There were so many. How, 3,500?
$350,000 in donations.
$350,000 in donations.
By the time we got there.
Yeah, by the time we got there. So there's no telling what's happened after. So why don't you tell them, like, the Reddick part?
Did you drive down in a tank? Because apparently, according to the news, you gotta...
Kelly's
I have a living room on wheels.
It's big as a tank.
It's big. We have 6 children between me and the Cuban. And they're all big.
That I had to run and jump into.
Whatever.
But
Not big as in obese, big as in grown folks. They're tall.
Yes.
The broad shoulder.
As my friend Dave calls it, my car is a grocery getting motherfucker.
It is. I'll take that.
And I get groceries. Yes, we drove down there and we really only took 25 books with us from Little Pickle that they donated. So now I feel really bad about saying the F word after I talk about the place I work with.
What had happened was...
They're just great people, though. They're great people. They make great books. And I thought that we were just going to do, make a donation. And when I called the library, I found out that they had a lot more that they needed to have happen. So instead of doing that, we just called and asked them and said, what do you need help with? And they said, we need help with all this stuff. Can you please help us with this stuff? We are in the middle of trying to run a library, but at the same time, we don't even know how to get these new books out. So we got there and took care of all of their donations. We unboxed them, and then we I wouldn't say cataloged, that wasn't the word that they used. We just recorded what they got and who they got it from, and then they were able to, that way they'd be able to thank people.
Set up the spreadsheet for a thank you card.
Right, and then Deshanee and I were sitting in this room doing the spreadsheet. Everybody else was taking all of the books and kind of organizing them into children's, young adults, and adults. And we got the pleasure of reading all these great notes from people.
Yeah, it was
the letters that people wrote to Ferguson Library was astounding.
Is this Ferguson Public Library?
Yes.
Ferguson
which has remained open.
Library, Ferguson Public Library. It went by 2 names.
Ferguson Municipal Public Library.
Yeah.
And it was something that when we were kind of unboxing all these books and we kept reading letters, we kept like elbowing each other and being like, read this.
Read this letter.
Oh my God, read this letter.
Oh God.
And they were astounding. So I can't.
Cliff Notes?
Thanks for remaining open during the protests and during the time when school's been closed after the verdict was read. We appreciate everything that you guys are doing. And I completely agree that Black Lives Matter. And one I remember from a mixed race librarian who said, as a kid, growing up in the 70s, I never saw anybody that looked like me. Here are some books specifically for kids of color. It was deliberate.
The one that got me was the Hispanic Publishing Company. They were talking about supporting their Black brothers and sisters as brown people, and it was a thing of, this is worldly, this is not just about one thing, this is about all of us. the end. Here's some stuff. Keep on keeping on. And I think that was my favorite part, was everyone was very deliberate with the books that they donated. It wasn't just the books that they had extra in their basement. It was, these may be my old books, but they're the ones that I loved as a kid. I hope some other kid can love them. Or they're these brand spanking new books with all these themes about race and about tolerance and about acceptance and feminists and just
all the good stuff.
All the things. All the things. I just, every time we moved the title and I saw the book, I was like, stop. Where was this book when I was a kid? Or, oh my God, I love this book when I was a kid. Or, this book is strong, this book is powerful, and teenagers need to read it, or adults need to read it. And it was overwhelming. And plus, everyone that went was a book nerd, so it didn't help, probably slowed down the process.
Because we kept opening books and going, have you read this? I need to get this. Oh my God, this looks so good. So we just, all of us kept taking pictures of books that we wanted to read. And so I just was pulling out my pictures on my phone, because I wanted to tell this story, because I haven't told this story to anyone yet.
Tell it.
I have told the John Green story about John Green donating his books, but one box of books that came in was all Charlene Harris books, who writes the Sookie Stackhouse series that True Blood is based on. And so I opened up this box, and the one on top is Sookie Stackhouse book, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good box. But then I keep going through it, and it's more Sookie Stackhouse books.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm like, well, then who sent this? So I opened one of the books, and it's signed by Charlene Harris.
Yeah.
And so then I'm just like, then I'm ripping open the box, because the address is covered up with this giant piece of paper that's, addressed to the Ferguson Library. So I like peel that up, and I look at it, and Deshanee and I are like, that's her address. Like, it's from her. It's really from her.
Oh God.
And haven't told anybody that story. That was cool. And we were very mindful, and I am very mindful of the fact that, that's her privacy. I get it. And I'm not blasting her name and address everywhere, but that was definitely the coolest part of, maybe one of the coolest parts.
A lot of authors sent their books, and I thought that was really great. That they just ran through their whole collection and said, here's a box of my books. There you go.
Yeah.
Do with them what you will.
The other part that was really cool was just meeting people in the library. I mean, the library was totally busy that day.
Yeah.
It was used. The library was used, and there was a bunch of kids sitting in the kids section with us. They were so cute all day long. They were playing on the computers, But then there was an older, not older, I mean like just a grown man, whatever, grown man sitting there all day and noticing us, but didn't say anything. And then when we were finished and we took our picture, because Scott Bonner, who is the library director, said, make sure, hey Scotty, make sure you take a picture with us. So we did, and then as we were leaving, that guy finally, he had headphones on, he finally took his headphones off after we were there all day. And he just said, I just really want to thank you guys for doing this. This makes such a big difference to our community. And actually, he thanked us for the books. And later we were like, we didn't bring the books here. We're just helping. And he goes, it doesn't matter. You're here. You came and you're helping. And on behalf of the community, thanks. And I was like, that was kind of nice.
How big a library is this in relation to like Lincoln Library?
Nobody can hear you, dirtbag. Say it into the microphone. What's your name? What do you do?
I'm John Stearns. I don't really do a whole hell of a lot. I'm here as kind of a fanboy.
We love you for it.
I'm kind of the fanboy of the group. I live vicariously through all y'all. No, my question was, how big is Ferguson Library in comparison to Lincoln Library here?
Much smaller. Like Lincoln Library, I mean, we got 2 floors in Lincoln Library. This was a very small library. I can't tell you square footage or anything. I'm trying to think. I mean, it reminds me of like in the suburbs of Chicago when my family moved out there. The library that we had was in someone's old house. Like they converted a house to the library. It kind of reminded me of that. I have an affinity for libraries. Totally have an affinity. I actually just got done interviewing Catherine Harris. Do you guys know who she is? She is. She's the resource librarian over at the Lincoln Presidential Library. And she's amazing. And I interviewed her for something that I'm writing, so I can't tell you all of it. But I will tell you this. If you don't know who Catherine Harris is, look her up, because she goes around to a lot of different places and has for years. And she does the persona and dresses up and does a speech as Harriet Tubman.
Oh, wow.
That'd be awesome.
I know. And she's a librarian, which means she knows so much stuff.
Yeah.
So she was fascinating to me, and I can't tell you all the things, but I learned cool things. Off the record, I'll tell you later.
That'll be it'll be in a different interview after all the information is aired.
And then you need to go interview her. She really has like amazing stories.
Do we need anything? They're
We're
taking
good.
amazing care of us. Again, we're at JP
okay.
Kelly's having a wonderful
What's your name
afternoon.
again? No. Yeah, you're on the air, but it's okay.
Cafe Monster, is that a key?
Yes.
So we're not robots, and we're not gonna pause. We want to share that we're having great service. Oh, there you go.
Shout out to a local business. I got hungry this morning before we started the podcast, and I went out. It's not a quiche, it's actually a chicken pot pie.
And we still don't have half the people that said they were going to be here, but we can't wait to throw them under the bus when they get here. So,
I'm gonna talk about Adam.
all right, so we're in the middle of everything. Just to thank the sponsors that let us come out and do this. We've got Laces Footwear, which is a highly fashionable apparel. And basically, if you want to go shopping in St. Louis, like down the Del Mar Loop, or if you want to go to Michigan Avenue to Chicago, and you want to go to a boutique and get some clothes that you can't get here, head over to MacArthur at Laces. They've got brands like Staples, Robotic Minds, Mishka, Sir, Saucony, Gourmet, Ewing's, Tonic, Fila, Pony. It's all stuff that you can't find here. And also, we've got stickers from milest-t-shirts.com. We got banners. Milest-t-shirts.com started printing. Now they've moved from printing to doing what's called sublimation. And sublimations means that you can put your logo on anything that you want. I've got a coffee mug, I've got mouse pads, and these are all from milest-t-shirts.com. Oh yeah, all the stickers are from Miles too. Yeah, it's the best way to put it, and the advertisers are gonna get mad at me, but I don't wipe my ass halfway. I do everything professional. And if you want stuff done professional, you go to milest-t-shirts.com. He's got a graphic designer that will make your logo. He'll print your item. He will do what you need to do. Now we're going to get back into the podcast. Deshanee, you were in the process of telling me an amazing story, but I shoved a stick of celery in your face and told you not to tell me anymore. Tell me about the gentleman from the library that was very passionate about women's rights.
Scott, okay, let me tell you what Scott said. It was the best, greatest thing, and kind of solidified me wanting to volunteer there again. So, Scott mentioned if we're going to take pictures of the letters, to blur out anyone's names, addresses, anything like that. And I told him we had every intention on doing that if we published it. And he went on a short rant because I said that I was very worried about people stalking people, just kind of joking about it. And he went to this rant saying that there's a small percentage of white males who think they can do whatever they want to whoever they want, anytime that they want. And then he stopped himself. He was like, you know what? I'm sorry. I just went on one of my feminist rants again. I'm so sorry. And I was like, yes, this person gets it. Yes, feminist rants. We need more feminist rants from men in the world. Ugh.
Yes, we do. On behalf of all women, we'd be willing to listen to those.
In my mind, he looked like the dean from Community, but
Aw, no. He looks like somebody you could totally get down with Dungeons and Dragons with.
Yeah, probably why I was
That's
like,
the best
you should
damn
be my
compliment I
friend.
can give. Seriously. Those are my people. I want to hang out with them.
Tribe. So my tribe. Yeah, that was an awesome Scott story. One of many.
most of us are fans of The Daily Show. Do you want to go to your highlight reel of how awesome they've been just shoving in people's faces about this is deep and this is real and you need to pay attention? And
you know, they've been doing it a lot. I think they've been doing it subtly, but I also noticed they've been doing it consistently for a very long time. They're just ramping it up right now, but that's because everybody's pissed. We're having a national conversation on race, and a lot of people are like, I did not want to talk about that. I was really, really comfortable in my bubble. But Jon Stewart for everything.
Oh, he's been killing it.
He does kill it. Consistently kills it. And doesn't take shit from anybody.
That's right.
I've been watching Last Week Tonight in reverse, and it's still just as good.
I know.
John Oliver, he uses the F word in the most appropriate way possible. It's amazing.
So cute.
Yeah. So, what are some things we talked before with a couple people on the shows? We'll do the if you were mayor for a day, we'll do the round circle. John, we'll start with you. If you were mayor for a day, what would you change? What would you keep?
Wow. Well, there needs to be, and I know they've started to some degree having the meetings with the police and the community as far as race relations.
Yeah.
There needs to be a more intensive drive for that as far as creating relations between police and the community. People don't seem to get that Ferguson can happen anywhere. And it has been happening
It is happening.
anywhere.
It happens everywhere.
It can happen in Springfield. People, Kelly said it earlier, people are in their little bubble and they refuse to even look outside it, let alone step outside of it. And it's going to bite them in the ass before.
Oh, I agree. You got to give a shout out to the Rams, though. Like, that was amazing.
Oh, that was great. That was awesome.
You're on a national stage, and you're willing to speak about it, and people got mad. And there was controversy going back and forth. They will apologize. They won't apologize. It's something that needed to be said, and not enough people. It's like, in that position, if you had a platform, you're going to say what you believe is in your heart, and that's amazing. Deshanee, would you like to say what would you change? What would you keep?
Mine's like a teeny tiny bit involved. So my big thing growing up in Springfield was from the age of 13 to 20, you have nothing to do. You legit have nothing to do. So what do? You go get in some trouble. I know I started drinking when I was about 11 because we could sneak it and sit around and do that because what am I going to do? Go to the movies, go bowling. Okay, that gets old. I joined student activities to have something to do, but honestly, like, there's nothing for young people here to do. So once you get something, because the Boys and Girls Club, you do that until you're about 10, 11, 12, 13, unless you really want to get involved. The YMCA, unless you find some sports you really like, you don't do that stuff that often. There's nothing for these younger people to do, and so you get in trouble. I'm gonna go dick around and do something else. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go do hood rat shit with my friends. That's what I'm gonna do until I'm 21, and then I can go to bars and do hood rat shit with my friends.
I believe it's garbage that we have a mall that we can't buy a CD in right now. Did you know that?
What?
Yeah, you can't buy a CD or DVD in the mall. There's no movie theater.
Absolutely.
There's no arcade. There's no place to buy a CD. I want to buy Team America World Police because I want to watch that shit on Christmas because they're not going to let it play in theaters, and North Korea's going to tell us what we can and can't watch. So I think that's ridiculous. It's a shot in the face for freedom of speech. Whether the movie, the interview, is a good movie, a bad movie, or indifferent, you should still be able to play it in America. How do you guys feel about that?
I feel like anyone who wanted to see it should be able to pay for it themselves at their own discord. They basically just made a cult classic because you can't watch it in theaters. There's all this hype about it now. So now I'm going to want to watch the underground version. I didn't want to watch that movie.
No, not
I didn't
at all.
care.
Yep.
But now I'm like, okay, what's going on? Hold on.
Now that you're telling me I can't watch
Let me Google it.
I agree with all that, and I hate censorship. I'm not somebody who I never want to censor. That was a movie I was never going to see in the first place. I think there's so much more to that conversation, though, about making whatever the hell movie you want and saying whatever the hell you want about people.
Right.
And then, you know what? In some ways, they're getting called on it. It's the wrong way. Like, we're calling them on it the wrong way. They made a junk movie.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And yet, I don't want to let Sony off the hook for their little emails that were leaked as well.
Exactly.
And I almost feel like this is overshadowing it right now because they said some pretty horrible things.
It'll come back. It'll come back.
Yeah.
It will. But here's the other thing. They also have an opportunity right now to run away with this and say, we will release it direct to consumer now.
Exactly.
Seriously,
Exactly.
you don't have to put it in the theaters. People are getting tired of paying. I get so tired of paying for so much money to go to the theater. We do Christmas Day movies a lot with my
The
family.
screen in the theater hasn't been updated to 1080, let alone the LED that you're watching at home. I mean,
It's better in my living room
that's
than
what
it
I'm
is in
saying.
the theater.
I don't work in an electronics store, but you can probably buy a 32-inch LED TV for $300 right now.
Absolutely.
Which is 10 times better than what they have in the theater. So why am I supposed to drive to the theater, spend $7 on a ticket, $25 on
$7.
popcorn? Oh, that's on the matinee. $25 on popcorn and a soda just to sit there and watch a movie that I can't leave.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. And I feel like, I mean, we're moving into a new era of and we have been moving into a new era. We're all streaming, we're all binge watching, we're all Netflixing, we're all doing that.
Right.
But at the same time, it worries me about the things Deshanee talked about with kids not having anything to do.
Yeah.
And it is going to disconnect people even further unless we are, I think, I don't know what the word is. I guess we have to be adamant about giving kids, especially in our community, things to do.
It's my fault. I paused the show. I didn't want you to hear me fart. I'm wearing tight pants. It's a holiday. I'm trying to look nice. I'm sorry.
It would have been a nice intro to Jingle Bells, though.
If you can't hear us, it's because they're playing holiday music, and I'm sorry. You get what you pay for. I cannot tell them to turn down the music.
It's good music,
Six
though.
people on a podcast.
This is Big Bad. Okay, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy has a great Christmas album. Let me just plug that. Great.
Let's talk holiday traditions. What's something that you can't go without on the holiday? I have to say holiday. Blanket statement. I can't anymore.
With my dreidel. Just kidding. By the way, did you see the new Dr. Dreidel?
I have not.
No.
Oh, okay.
Please.
It's awesome. I'll share it with you guys. Dreidel with Dr. Dre on it. Best holiday tradition is getting a tree with my kids.
Real tree, fake tree.
Real tree. I had fake tree for years. It was a source of constant irritation with me and my ex-husband. And then I left him and said, damn it, I'm getting a real tree.
Yeah,
So
but what about the pine needles? What about the water?
I will clean it up. It's all me.
What about the possible nest of baby praying mantis that could be in there?
You know what? That is the stuff of nightmares. I can't believe you just put that
It
in my
happened
head.
to
I cannot
someone.
believe you said that.
Did it, or was it urban legend?
No.
I don't believe you.
No.
Praying mantises don't bother you though. They're not like.
What?
It is when they're like this small and there's a cluster of them and they're in the corner.
Stop.
Leave out
It
words
is
of
not
praying
Christmas
mantis.
anymore. It is Halloween. I need you to stop
I was about to
it.
say, you'll never guess whose house that was.
You know what? Don't throw them under the bus. We're not at the Lincoln loser section yet.
Hey-o. Hey-o.
But you're coming up. So for me, it's the tree and making cookies.
So you go to the same spot every year, or do you?
Same spot.
Really?
Yeah,
Same guy.
Same spot. Same
So
guy.
I go
Pick
see.
out my tree.
I go
He
see
goes and cuts it
Steve.
down.
He's been growing these trees for years.
Let's see a guy about a tree.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So and the cookies.
Cookies, which is happening this afternoon. So I guess I'll see you guys later.
So what I heard was cookies.
I know, right? Yeah. So. All
right, I know where you
use traditional cutters, or do you use fun cutters?
What's a fun cutter?
Like gingerbread men, like stars, trees, or now I've seen like themed.
You're talking about like
themed
my sugar
cutters?
cookies.
Yeah.
Like sugar cookies. No, I'm pretty boring.
Are they circle
when it comes to
cookies?
that. You know what? It does not matter. Do you know what matters about a sugar cookie?
tell
The
me.
frosting.
Hell yeah.
The frosting, bitches.
Oh,
it is
yeah.
all about the frosting. Your sugar cookie can be kind of dry if you got good frosting. I mean, you can that's where you can cut back if you need to, but the frosting is the thing. I use Magnolia Bakery's frosting recipe.
You can also say that about a turd. Like you just scrape the top of the frosting out.
You put enough good sugar on it, I'll eat it.
Right.
I like me. What did I bring you guys for breakfast, huh? Frosted
And it is
cookies.
delicious. It is delicious. Deshanee, what about you? Holiday traditions?
I don't have a lot of holiday traditions
You
because
have a holiday tradition of going to a bar 2 nights before, so you can put up with your family the day of. I know.
that's a newer one though. But my parents usually always worked on Christmas, so we would do a lot of Christmas Eve stuff and open stuff really early in the morning. So I'm really accustomed to doing things on Christmas Eve and then just dicking around on Christmas. I celebrate
My holiday card says dicking around.
dicking around on Christmas.
If you're not busy, you can hang out with me. I'll be dicking around.
I'll just be dicking around, having a beer, watching TV. I celebrate Kwanzaa, so I try to do all the things, all the days, because it leads up to New Year's Day. So
Let's educate the audience a little bit. I'm not saying for you to be the representative for Kwanzaa. Don't get me wrong, but just if you meet somebody on the street and you say, you've been telling me Merry Christmas for 6 months, you're so excited about the holiday, now it's a week up and you never said, hey, do you celebrate Christmas? The politest way possible, you're like, well, I'm really sorry, this is what I celebrate. How would you describe that?
well, like I said, I do both, but Kwanzaa,
You're greedy. You do both?
If I could be Jewish and celebrate Hanukkah, I would. I'd knock all of December out and just celebrate.
Holiday
We need some
trifecta.
Throw some confetti
We need some
all
listeners to
December.
email us at lincolnslegendspodcast.com or you can email us to lincolnslegendspodcast@gmail.com. Tell us if you can be celebrate Kwanzaa, you can celebrate Hanukkah and Christmas. Because I believe this is America and I can do whatever I want.
I can do whatever I want. Kwanzaa, okay,
Merc.
don't make me Wikipedia it, but it is a man-made
Hey,
holiday.
they need money right now. Don't give their name out. They need $3. Keep that
They
page
do need
open.
$3.
Have you noticed that when you get on?
Yes.
Yes, the Cuban gave them money. Anyway,
Did he really?
I will do your Googling. for
Okay,
you.
okay. So it is a man-made holiday, and it's
Like Scientology?
it's 7 days. Honestly, the thing that appeals to it about me
7
is
days?
it's 7 days of like community stuff. It's bettering yourself
7
and
days of Abed and Troy?
Abed and Troy. Who are they? Woo! I don't get
We
it.
have a winner.
I don't get
Of
it.
course you don't.
I'm lost.
You didn't watch Troy and Abed in the morning?
Kanye shrug. Sorry. Sorry.
The second thing is Kwanzaa, the fraudulent holiday.
I know, right? And I get so butthurt. I'm like, dang, y'all, like, I'm not even hurting nobody. There's stuff like, what's your purpose? That's, my favorite day is Nina. And all the names are in Swahili. And like I said, my favorite day is Nina, which is purpose. So it's like, what's your purpose? What are you doing to better the world? There's commerce, supporting your community and buying local. That's another one of my favorite days.
Did he mean it for it to be a holiday, or did he mean for it to be a mindful thing for Black people to be thinking about? Because it's not an African
It
holiday.
was supposed to be a mindful thing for Black people, but I take it as my entire community. My tribe is not Black. My tribe is so many people, so many ages, so many cultures within it. So I just take everything that I like about the holiday and I just go with it.
Do you know who started it?
Some dude, I don't know.
Ron Karenga.
I was about to say, don't ask me who started the NAACP. I'm a part of it, but I don't know.
Trash him because it calls him a felon. So I think he was in prison.
So was Nelson Mandela? What you got against him?
Come on, Nelson Mandela.
I mean,
Come on, Nelson Mandela.
These are my people. Do you want to talk about the prison industrial complex now?
yes, I do. Yes, I do. We got that kind of time.
Well, that's what I do towards the end of the year. I got Christmas, I got Kwanzaa, then I do New Year's Eve and New Year's, and then I'm done. Don't talk to me until March.
What do you do on New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve, I usually go out with my friends. Last year, I did a small one at my friend's house with a couple that I know and their kids and a few friends, so it was really quiet and laid back. The year before that, I went to a decent-sized house party. The year before that, I did downtown Springfield and, got the usual trash.
You ever been thrown out of a bar and accused of peeing in a trash can?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just that one time.
I know a guy. It wasn't me, but I know a guy. that
Are
was
you
thrown
sure?
out
Maybe we can have
of
a
a bar
support group for that.
downstairs, and he was thrown up the stairs and onto the concrete. And that's an embarrassing time.
Yeah, I remember
It really
I
is.
had to bring his
There's
coat.
The question is always, what did you do? And there's no good answer.
That's amateur night for me. I don't.
It
I don't
is.
wanna
It's an
go
amateur
out.
night.
It's with people that don't.
I may or may not have spilled
Also
cheap champagne on a Coach purse. And this girl made the mistake of bringing a Coach purse to a bar downtown in Springfield. If your parents got the money to spend $900 on a purse, they can buy a dry cleaner or spend another $900 on a purse.
You're not $900.
Stop
But
talking.
that's what she had
$200.
said.
And I have a theory about this. I do not buy a purse that costs more than the money that I would normally carry around.
Yeah.
I don't want to be more mad that the purse is gone than my money's gone. With that said, I'm currently carrying a Coach purse. But that's because I bought it at a garage sale. Actually, no, my secretary's daughter loves Coach purses, so she brings them in and she's like, my daughter's selling these. So I buy them.
Yes, I will buy it.
Yes, I'll take that.
Mr. Stearns, you are not allowed to not talk. Get your shit together.
Oh,
Bring
shit.
it in. Favorite holiday tradition?
Favorite
Hold on. First, I want to talk about the awesome Star Wars thing that you put on the internet yesterday that blew my mind.
Don't go out of
Wasn't
order.
that cool?
Let me finish this round up and then go Star
That-
Wars.
That's a holiday. It's a holiday
it's a
light.
holiday light?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
go
somebody
ahead.
had created this massive Christmas light display and had synced it to the Star Wars soundtrack. The entire bits of the entire Star Wars soundtrack, like from I think all 6 movies he had in there. And it was just amazing. He's got these lasers, he's got dancing lights, and
Every time he has a couple lights on his ceiling, and he made a lightsaber duel
Yeah.
with the lights. Timed it perfect. Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
the one. Yeah.
That's
Thank
it.
God for internet. So you grab it.
Oh, I like how you call out Jeff Nevins.
oh hell yeah, I had to call Jeff out. Jeff Nevins, my buddy, you got to work on that next year.
So favorite holiday holiday tradition?
We don't really have all that many traditions. We do the tree about the beginning of December. My youngest, he wants the tree decorated, but he doesn't want to really stick around to do it. And then my wife, she bakes a lot, so there's 20 pounds of the Christmas cookies, the pizzelli. That was her thing this year, was the pizzellis.
What is that? So basically,
it's a little. Well, yeah, it's a little Italian,
waffle
like a waffle cookie.
In amazing deliciousness.
Pizzellis, yeah. You have them in vanilla flavor. There's almond flavor. Some people like anise. I think licorice tastes like anus, quite frankly, but that's just me.
You are in the wrong aisle at the spice store.
Well, yeah.
What you're putting in it.
Yeah, it was a brown label. I don't
I
know.
don't know where the anus aisle is in the supermarket. Is that the beef? Is it the anus beef? Or is that a different thing?
Black anus beef, buddy.
Sorry.
But no, our big thing we do on Christmas Day is we all just stay in our little footy jams, and we spend the whole day doing absolutely nothing. We watch TV, the kids play with their
You
shit.
spend the day bonding.
We spend the day, we do. We spend the day bonding.
There you go. There we go.
No, we just kind of be at Christmas, and if our thing is if somebody wants to come over and visit, they're more than welcome to. We don't go anywhere. If you come to see us, we're going to be in our jammies, and that's how we roll.
I have a unique question for everybody. I'm going to bring it in. Has there ever been boundaries for the holiday as far as people that are your close friends? I'm not saying some guy that's trying to come to the house and sell you something, but have there ever been boundaries saying, oh, I can't talk to you, it's Christmas time, with my immediate family? Are there boundaries, or is your house and heart open to visitors?
It's open.
I was about to say, yeah, we've always had visitors around that time of year. I can't think of any time that we didn't have people coming over and doing something, or I knew I could go to my friends' parents' houses at any point during the holidays, and there'd be like a meal for me, and when I was over 21, a drink. Yeah, I really can't think of closed anything ever.
That brings me to my favorite tradition. Because my favorite tradition is togetherness. It sounds cheesy, but it is what it is. It took me a long time to finally understand. Through the years, we all will be together if the fates allow. Something you sing, something you say 1,000 times when you're a child, you have Christmas pageants about it, but
You never stop and think about the words.
But if you're in a room alone on a holiday, you have fucked up. You have really messed up. If no one wants to spend the time together with you, that's supposed to be the most important time of the year, you need to reevaluate the situation. You really do.
Hey, can I do a shout out for people who are hurting during the holidays too?
Oh God,
Man, this
absolutely.
is a sucky time for
Yes.
so many people.
Have you read Nikki Sixx Suicide Diaries?
No, I don't think I want to.
Oh my God. He puts in there, I haven't read the whole book, but I did the clip notes, and he opens by saying, it's Christmas Day. I want to call my friends and tell them how much I'm hurting. I'm laying on the floor by myself in a drug coma, but you don't want to share that with them. And that's why I asked if it's okay to have the door open, because no one deserves to hurt on the holidays.
Right, so that's why I want to shout out, because I want people, like, if you know somebody who is at home laying on the floor all by themselves, call them or go over or figure out ways to help them. They may tell you they don't want you around, but check in on those people.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody needs to check in.
I was about to say, I'm single and I live alone, but I know
You
that.
don't live alone. There's that man that lives in your building.
Whoa, that man. I'm single.
This microphone close.
That's another story. That's another story.
No, this is a podcast
No, we'll Tarantino. We'll take it back on that one. Give me a second.
I feel cheated.
Hold on, no, we'll talk about that. I live alone, but my family's here, my friends are here, so I know I can call someone and be like, what are you guys doing? I'm hungry. And I can just go almost anywhere.
You didn't have to call. You can just
That's
show
true.
up.
I could just show up places. I'm kind of a big deal. But don't force the loneliness. If I feel like being alone on the holiday because I just need to breathe for a couple seconds, then I'm going to sit, I'm going to have a cup of coffee by myself, be alone, be in the quiet, and then I'm going to say, okay, I need to get up and I need to get out. Whose cookies can I steal?
There's a difference between being
Alone and lonely.
It's a very fine line.
It is. And I mean, you have to know yourself well enough to know, I'm not lonely right now. I'm
Right.
just alone.
Well, the reason why I said that you were fucked up if you're all by yourself is Because if you wrong that many people throughout the year, and they don't want to spend time with you, you know, when you're supposed to all be together. I did not mean that at any stretch to say, you know, I guess we need to promote the awareness, as you said, for people that are alone, because there's huge suicide rates during the holidays.
Yeah.
People being alone. But if you're listening to this show, we're all hanging out with you on Christmas.
Just come over. I'm making
Hey.
cookies.
Gotta get my Kwanzaa candles ready. I always forget
Is the
them.
old man gonna help you with their Kwanzaa?
Okay, let's talk about this
Yes.
neighbor. Ugh, my neighbor, like my next door neighbor.
Let me holla.
When I moved in, a couple days later, he comes next door asking for freaking salt. I just threw the whole thing at him. Was like, "Here, you can have it." He was like, "Oh no, I
Who
just
doesn't
need-"
have salt?
Exactly.
I have stolen
He
salt
looks like-
packets in my purse.
He looks like when Jamie Foxx used to play the old man character on The Living Color.
But half the weight and twice the age.
Is that
And
what he said? He wanted to holler at you?
no, but that's almost what he sounds like. I've literally been walking into my apartment with 3 separate males. One was my little brother, and 2 have been friends, Jeremy being one of them, and the man is still talking to me.
It's okay, it's alright, I can wait.
And,
I got time.
and like, I'm just looking, and every time this male is with my little brother almost went off on him. He was like, "Dude, you don't know who I am."
Joe later.
Like,
man got to
it's
leave,
frightening. And every time I go out to my car, he's like, "Well, you know, you got your light out. I can fix that for you, blah, blah." I'm like, "Nope, I got it."
You need a newspaper, some batteries, I'll get you some milk. What you need?
I
Basically,
need to get you like a knife.
I can take him.
Feed
I
out
can
the
take
cookie
him.
when he gets that foot in your door.
I can take him. I'm not worried. I can take him. I can take him. He weighs about as much as one of these bar straws.
You don't feel threatened.
I don't.
You gotta
Okay.
admire that tenacity.
I
I'm gonna
don't.
die trying.
Right.
And I'm not worried about you as a woman who is really, really aware of her surroundings
Yeah.
and pays attention to all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm. It's not a bad thing to be aware. I think that in this day and age, with the whole hollering at women and
Yeah.
that you okay sis hashtag on Twitter, which is very much a. You know what? We're really tired of the catcalling. Like,
Right.
at many points, it goes way over the line.
Go into detail, please.
A couple of months ago, did it start a couple months ago? Do you guys know when this hashtag started? I know it was started by Feminista Jones. And it was really, do you remember the catcalling video that came out that actually was,
What, mid-October or something?
yeah, which actually, later realized that they like cut out all of the
Ended
white
the
people
line,
yeah.
that were catcalling and left in all the black and Latino men. But that notwithstanding, it is a real thing. It is a real threat,
Very
and a lot
real.
of women
Very
feel very
frightening.
uncomfortable
Very.
with catcalling. And you know what? It's like played out. I'm over it. Thank you. And not to go along with that is the whole like, why aren't you smiling? I do not owe you a damn thing. I don't. You are not in charge of this space.
Smile. Bitch smile.
Bitch smile.
That's
And when you reject men that are catcalling you on the street, you get called bitch right
Ain't nobody
away.
want your bitch ass
You
anyway,
ain't
old
cute
ugly ass,
anyway.
bitch ass.
Yeah.
And you're just like, but you just tried to holler at me.
Right.
Well, and my favorite thing is, damn, baby, I'm just trying to strike
Yes,
up a conversation.
yes.
Well, then why don't you talk to that guy down the street?
Yes.
Why does it have to be
Come on,
me
feminist
as a
rant.
woman?
Come on, feminist rant from a man. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
No,
Calm down.
don't be sorry.
Come on.
Calm down.
Yes.
Honestly, this is what we need. We need.
They can only seem to talk to the attractive woman that's walking down the street rather than the guy that's sitting
Right.
next to
Right.
They don't want a conversation. They want something else.
Yeah.
But they go way over the line and get into our personal space.
Right.
And make women feel very threatened.
Yep.
And then threaten women. You know, the woman
Yes.
in Michigan that the guy tried to holler at her and then he ended up killing her.
Yes.
What are they doing outside with shoes, working? I don't understand any of it.
You should be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant. Ugh.
I kind of would like that right now. I'm just saying.
I just want to bake stuff.
I do want to bake some cookies. This is why I'm the worst feminist.
But no,
I want to bake cookies.
it's very annoying, and it's literally why I have resting bitch face, because I grew up having to walk down the street with groups of boys trying to holler at you.
Right.
So you try to make yourself seem so unappealing, and you know what? It doesn't. There's
work.
nothing you can do. I could walk around with a burlap sack over me, like
That would be
roller
amazing,
skating,
by the way.
like completely covered. I could be
This
rolled
is like
in
a South
dirt.
Park character
It's so
she's
tribal.
describing.
It's so-
I could just make myself.
Do you carry fruit on your head with the burlap sack?
Maybe even,
Oh,
but they will
and
still
you're sweating from
try
that long walk?
to holler.
You know what? Women
Still try to holler.
women have to be very strategic about going places.
Yes.
And when they're going places. And sometimes we can't be strategic about it. Sometimes it's part of my life. I got to go somewhere, and this is what I'm going to meet along the way. But I'm one of those women that I always have my keys in my hand.
Yep.
I always have my hand on my, my key fob so that I can open my doors very quickly. But I also spend a lot of time turning over every shoulder and being aware of my surroundings.
You can't wear sweatpants. You can't wear yoga pants. You can't wear shorts. You can't wear tight jeans. You can't wear... You should really walk around in a Carhartt jumpsuit, and it'd be totally fine.
Nope, that would not work.
Totally fine.
I'm just saying.
Because
I'm really attractive. Okay, even in a Carhartt.
It wouldn't matter.
I'm adorable.
Carhartt jumpsuit, it wouldn't.
It doesn't matter. I know, and I'm joking about that. Like it just doesn't matter.
Always.
There will always be somebody.
So it's less about being attracted to someone, and it's really more about intimidation and bullying.
Yeah.
It's really about what shit can I get away with on the street with women, with the most vulnerable people who are out here, and it's women. That's who we go after.
My most recent story, maybe November. Nope, not even November. October maybe. I was going to a local bar here, seeing if a couple of my friends were bartending. There's two guys standing outside, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And I know this sounds terrible, but it was two black dudes, and I'm going into a mostly white bar. Okay, I know something's going to go down because of my backstory, because of history. I know something's going to happen. They are going to say something to me. So, as I'm walking into the bar, they're like, hey, girl, I know you ain't going in there. I know you ain't going in there. I'm like, I'm going to go in there. So, as I'm walking, one of them grabs my wrist, and I say to him, sir, in this exact tone, sir, you don't know if I have a knife. You don't know if I have a gun. You don't know if I'm trained in any fighting style. I am. I also lift a lot of weights over my head and throw them down in real life. Please don't do this because you don't know what I'm capable of. I could hurt you, and I'm just being realistic. So he let me, you don't got to say all that. You don't got to say all that. And I see
what exactly would work?
I see his friend behind him going, hey, man, you should let her go. So I walk into the bar. My friends aren't there, and I'm about to leave. And the other dude comes up to me as I'm leaving, and he's like, hey, I just want to apologize to my friend. He's kind of stupid. You're right. I'm so sorry. You go ahead. You have a nice night. And then his friend's like, hey, I'm sorry. And I'm like, dude, I could have stabbed you. Seriously. You don't know.
Right.
This may seem cute and funny to you, but you don't know.
See, to me,
you're running a risk yourself.
That threat is present everywhere, though, because to me, in my own experience, the worst people that have behaved badly towards me have always been the white guys in bars. It's always been drunk, white, frat bro dudes that have just had all kinds of privilege about what they can say and can do and can touch.
It's
privilege.
It's
absolute privilege. There are so many. I get people so pissed off on Facebook on a daily basis over that word, privilege. I don't think they get it. I honestly don't think they get it. They don't understand.
Privilege is not just a white thing either, and that's what kills me.
There's light-skinned privilege, there's male privilege, there's female privilege.
Oh, yeah.
There's
straight privilege.
Yes.
There's zip code privilege, there's double parent home privilege, there's PhD privilege. Sorry, is it too much?
No, because that's kind of true.
No, it's real. That's real.
Shit is real.
It's how you're using it, you know. I mean, number one, it's recognizing that you have it. And I think a lot of people, I think where you make people uncomfortable, John, is that people don't want to admit to you that you're right, that they have it, because they don't see what benefits they're getting from this privilege. Because to them, it's invisible. And that's why that conversation is difficult for a lot of people. I just saw, this is a little bit off topic, but I just saw a great tweet from a teacher on Twitter who mentioned, you know what, in order to teach the boys about feminism, I'm going to give all of them an 88%, even if they got 100. And also, did you see President Obama only call on the women yesterday in the press conference? Sorry, that was
not you.
Not you. Oh.
No, not you.
It was so good. It was such a great end of the year. Like, this is the last one. I loved it.
How is it that gas is $1.99? He needed 2 wars.
Thanks, Obama.
Cop and blood. And people are still talking shit. Oh, and we all have health care. All of us.
Because he blackish.
Everybody gets to get the booty check for free to make sure there's no cancer.
Because he blackish.
That's
He will never be able to do anything right. And I don't. Here's the thing. And I don't say this to a lot of people, but I do not cape for him all the time.
Right.
And when I do want to criticize him, when I have in the past criticized him, it has always been an opportunity for people who hate him to pile on. So I don't. I'm just not going to say anything. Absolutely. See, he's not perfect. No, I don't think he's perfect. I think he does a whole lot of messed up stuff, but I think he's done a whole lot of fantastic things as well.
Guys, I'm going to chime in for a second. I do apologize for playing with the levels, but we're at a holiday party. Everyone's having an amazing time.
We should just start
Mariah
singing.
Carey should not be drowned out, but we're also having an awesome conversation.
Unless she is doing as terrible as she is right now, she's go ahead and retire that voice.
Oh yes, I saw her on the lighting of the Christmas tree. I seen her.
Have you
I've
seen
seen her,
her
people.
lately? Honey, there's just some notes you can't hit no more. Your range is not there. It's sad because being a musician and growing up listening to her and idolizing her, it's rough to watch. Like, you need to adjust to your body and realize what you can and cannot do.
I remember the first time I heard Mariah Carey, and I was actually really impressed with that voice. Like,
Because it's impressive.
I was having a sleepover at a boys' house in college.
At a boy's house.
I was at a boys' house.
Sleep? Yeah. I like how she played that.
I just remember it was playing on the radio, and I actually woke up. I was like, what's that?
This radio? Was it digital?
It was-
Was it a record? tell me about this radio.
Tell me your story, Grandma.
I'm telling y'all how old I am, okay? Just by saying I had a sleepover. Like, I can't even say.
Yeah.
I was a booty call.
Well, you know what? There you go. There it is.
Wait, for which my father totally caught me because he came and surprised me at school, and I had someone babysitting my daughter for me, and she called and she was like, "You should come home. Your dad's here." And he's the one who called it a sleepover, so.
Can't.
Christmas is canceled. You had a sleepover.
Which is, how funny is that? Like, it's ridiculous that my father's like busting me out. I already have a kid, Daddy. I know how this works. And he lives with me now, so it's like all come full circle.
Oh, there you go. Your dad lives with you now?
He does, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
No, he's amazing. He cooks for me. He was making the bacon this morning. I left bacon. I need you to look at my face.
I felt it. I didn't just hear it. I felt it.
Bacon.
I felt it. No, I slow cook bacon every Sunday.
In the oven?
From a lady. It's a tradition.
On a rack in the oven?
In a rack?
On a rack.
Oh, God, yeah. That's how you do it.
No,
The best way.
Yeah.
I'll look into that.
You guys all want bacon now. No one can think anymore.
I can't. You done messed up for everybody. Really, really did. So, how about, since we're continuing with the holiday theme, what's a holiday wish? We'll do a round table. What's something like, I wish this could happen, this is already happening, something along those lines. Anybody can go first. You know,
I wish I could get a new job.
But you're employed and you have health insurance and you can take care of yourself.
I am very employed.
And you're suckling on the teat of anyone?
No.
It's pretty badass.
It's
Well, it's like you get kicked in the face every day, but you can pay your bills. That's
very
life.
true. Get peed on every now and then, you know. Not for like the porno
It's
pay.
better be peed off than peed on. I learned that.
Well, I get peed on a lot, so.
You know what? I'm going to stick with that theme. Because I love my job and I'm gainfully employed. But I really want to quit and write a book.
Tell me,
But you are damn good at your job. And I know this from absolute personal experience. You are absolutely 100%
Why?
excellent at your job.
Why?
My son, the way he changed in the 3 years he was at your school, and then in how I was there around the cross country kids and around the band and all this kind. I see these kids change. They change so much in those 3 very critical years.
so she's an amazing mentor?
Oh my God!
Please enlighten me.
You should see how the kids just idolize her. They even when she is all up in their business. They still walk away with a smile. Miss Wickham just chewed my ass. It was awesome. But she just, I can't even explain it. She has this effect on these kids. She inspires. By all
You
means.
put a pin in it. There's a man talking, and you have shoes on.
Oh, damn.
You are privileged.
I do have shoes on.
You can,
I have shoes on.
I'm going to let you have that.
Oh, no.
I'm not getting into
Because he's a feminist. I was doing hair and makeup for A Christmas Story at the Hoagland, and I was mostly doing the kids' hair and makeup, and I wasn't there one day because we had gotten back late from going to Ferguson, and the next day that I went back, the kids were like, "Where were you? Well, you weren't here to do our stuff." And they actually really enjoyed me doing it. I had lines of kids, which I always think is weird because I'm so mean to everyone, but I was like, I was at Ferguson in the library, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool, you know." And I was like, "Yeah, I was with Miss Wickham all day." They're like, "Ooh." Like their eyes got big, and you see these big smiles like, "Really? You know Miss Wickham? You're friends with her?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm actually friends with her in real life, guys." And they're like, "Whoa."
Yeah, that's the thing. You drop the name Miss Wickham, and everybody's like,
You know, actually, the internet has the same effect because her downloads are kicking ass.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm so happy
She
we had her on the show for the first pilot. There's still people that I walk in, "Oh, I'm sorry, would you like to listen to this? I had such and such on, that's all I have to say." And I'm like, "I'll listen." First episode that's an hour long, and people are like, "Yeah, I'll be there."
She has such an incredible internet presence because she's got, she's on Facebook, and she drops it on Facebook on a regular basis. You're on Twitter. You actually, I think you've kind of backed off Twitter a little bit from how you used to be when we first met. You used to put a lot out there on Twitter. Now you've kind of backed off and put it more on Facebook.
Facebook is where the magic happens.
Yeah, as much as I absolutely fucking hate Facebook, you're right. Facebook is where the magic happens. And most of the time, I will just sit back and watch what happens on your page because it is just amazing. Every so often, you'll get somebody that is kind of a dipshit and needs to be, enlightened. But it's just amazing what happens on your Facebook page as far as opening things up about feminism, about racism, about the situation in Ferguson specifically, about just life in general. And then I think about the experiences you've had just in the time I've known you. The going to Africa with the One Project. That was amazing to read about. This Tuxedo Men thing you're doing, oh my God. It's so cool to see this. You went on the Oprah show and you were discussing education with Cory Booker. I have that somewhere marked on my computer. I watch it at least 2-3 times a week.
Okay, good, because I'm going to need a copy of that. 'Cause mine's gone. But funny story, the night before I went on Oprah, I had fallen, I fainted in my sister's bathroom and bruised my sternum, something terrible, and went to the emergency room. And the Cuban flew up, to Chicago to see if I was okay. So the next day I was on a lot of drugs.
Like peyote?
No.
Oh,
The legal kind.
okay.
From the hospital. And my sister's like, "You don't have to go." And I'm like, "It's Oprah's last year."
You do.
So that whole episode, I have to watch myself on it sometime because in my head, it was all in slow motion. Hi, Oprah.
No, you were quite amazing. You were quite amazing.
Thank you.
And
Let's do this for an hour.
Well, but seriously, I have nothing but the utmost admiration and respect for you because of just who you are. You affect everyone you encounter, whether it's your students at school, whether it's your friends here, your peers, whether it's the people that work for you, whether it's people you've never met on the internet, on Facebook or on Twitter. And as I watch your Facebook and your Twitter, you are meeting more and more and more of these people, and it's just amazing the reach you have. I mean, wasn't it a few months ago, Soledad O'Brien knew you from
that was actually a couple of years ago.
Was it?
2 years ago. And I met her somewhere, and I told her it's been that long. But I wanted to speak to that. First of all, thank you. You just said very nice things about me. Thank you.
Where can we find that?
KellyWickham.com and Twitter at mochamomma.com. But I pulled back on Twitter because I realized that what I was doing on Facebook was engaging with more people that I knew from my blogging world and kind of than my in-person world here and family world, and it was kind of colliding there.
It's your multiverse that we talked about in the episode.
It is.
The multiverse, absolutely.
And so way more magic happens there. And I said this on the last podcast too, that the only people I have ever unfriended have been from Springfield, Illinois. They've been from here, and they're people that I can't penetrate. I can't talk to them. I'm not for them. I don't purport myself to be some like
guru
guru
how
teacher.
you feel about the new Cardinals pitcher in the Bears game. Other than that, you shouldn't be throwing that in the news feed.
I don't talk sports except with the Cuban, and now my father, because we did fantasy football this year. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But
Did you start Cutler?
No.
He makes a better kicker.
We were talking about how much it cost them to bench him this week.
7 years. 7 years. I'm gonna hang out here. Right
He
here.
was like totally shaming. He just had that. Like I can imagine what he feels like the dog who's like, you just took that newspaper and rolled it up and swatted him on the nose. I don't feel sorry for Cutler. Anyway. There's some magic that's happening all over, like I think social media, but Facebook for me is where it happens. I guess I got really tired of being called a nigger on Twitter by people that I don't know, and it really did. Like
That's
if
a
I talked
powerful
about
word for little bitty people.
right, people that don't know me,
Yeah.
and so at some point I was like,
My name is username 857, and I have a passion. No, what you are is
And
you're
my
living in your
picture's
mom's
an egg.
basement. Yeah. You're living in your mom's basement,
Right.
and you really want to hate on somebody else's business.
right. To me it's a form of abuse, and so I mean I still talk on Twitter. I do. I share a very different kind of thing that I was sharing in the past because I realized not everybody deserves an audience with me.
Absolutely.
I do not have to sit there and take it.
Right.
But I've also spent such a great deal amount of time over the last couple of years, since the last presidential election, blocking people on Twitter that sometimes people will have to send me a message like, how come you didn't answer that guy? I'm like, oh, he was talking to me? He's
Because
been
you're
blocked.
throwing rocks at a train. That's why I didn't answer you.
Yeah, right. And I don't give all those people a platform. So.
Yeah, and I guess
Deshanee just came back, and we just talked about her the whole time.
Well, yeah, I would.
now what are we going to talk about?
I would talk about
Would you? What would you talk
Because I'm
about?
fucking amazing, that's why.
exactly how fucking awesome I am.
.com.
Basically.
Kelly, can you tell us any more about the Tuxedo Men that we talked about last time?
Yeah, so I'm working on a.
Since you asked.
Since you asked. Let me lean into the microphone. I'm working on a Indiegogo project for it right now because I want to get it fully funded, and then I'm going to quit my job.
No, you can't get out that easy. Because last time we were talking about Spike Lee, and you're like, I just want to shove it under his door.
Oh, I have a friend that lives close to Spike Lee, and she said she'll shove my proposal under his door.
Totally fine.
So that
totally
he would.
fine with that.
That would be nice. Anyway, no, I'm out.
You're not out. We're gonna come back to you. Since it's not the Kelly show, she's already got one. Her and the straight hand. So
What?
the floor is open. Don't give me what? The floor is open.
Let's talk about folks who aren't here.
Let's talk about people who aren't here.
Welcome to the Lincoln's Loser section of the podcast.
Shout out
I
to
don't-
Adam.
Adam, you tall mofo.
Adam, I want to be on a podcast, baby, but I can't make it 2 hours into the show.
Not answering your phone.
Hey, Adam, you guys know is like
No,
off
they
his
don't know.
medicine.
Yes.
He is off his medicines. He's not like pre-diabetic anymore.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for him. He's very, very healthy.
He
I'm
don't got
giving
the
him crap.
sugars. They're not gonna take his foot. It's all good.
Diabetes will keep you on your toes till you lose them.
Help!
She asked me to give her the D, so I gave her the diabetes. I know you've seen it, Wolford Brimley.
No. All bad. All
Your
bad.
blood sugar
Wow.
Who else we got? Patrick. He says
Patrick
he's
is
sick.
down. He's sick. He's down for the count.
I don't believe it.
That does not get you off the list.
He's got 9 jobs.
He does.
He does.
He's like a Jamaican.
Oh!
How many jobs you got?
You only got your 4 jobs? You lazy goat boy. Lazy goat boy.
I feel that we've had a high-quality program. We're going to end the show by saying happy holidays to everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Have a safe, happy holiday.
Raise the glass. Raise it high. Woman, you need to shave. Hey, it's the Lincoln Legend Podcast.